Britain has experienced its hottest summer on record, but the political storm clouds are gathering as lawmakers return. The withdrawal agreement with Brussels has yet to be signed, raising the prospect of a chaotic no-deal Brexit on next year's March 29th deadline, say the authors of a report on the UK in a changing Europe.
Nobody wants no deal, but there are these big obstacles. The first is that of the Irish border, where at the moment the position of the EU27 is that there has to be a Northern Ireland specific backstop legally written into the withdrawal agreement that ensures no hard border, and carving out that special position for Northern Ireland where it at least to some extent, remains intimately interlinked with the EU.
But that is unacceptable to many MPs who fear it could ultimately split Northern Ireland from the United Kingdom. Many lawmakers also don't want to pay the $50 billion divorce bill to Europe, money owed for existing commitments, without a guarantee of a future trade deal. Europe is refusing such a promise.
So it's not just about trade. There are all sorts of other things that would come to a grinding halt on March 30th if we crashed out without any deal at all.
The report warns trade with the EU would face immediate disruption, with potential food and medicine shortages. Safety certification for British aircraft would become invalid, possibly grounding flights. The rights of British citizens living in the EU would be thrown into doubt, but the government insists a no-deal Brexit is unlikely.
We are taking the action to avoid, to minimise and to mitigate these potential risks, so we are equipped to manage any short-term disruption.
But some European governments are resisting concessions to Britain.
In Europe, certainly in France and Germany in the Commission, that any sort of deal that appears to be allow the UK to pick and choose, to cherry pick, to have its cake and eat it, would indeed encourage disintegrationist and populist forces elsewhere in Europe.
The political battles were mirrored on the high seas recently as British and French fishermen clashed in the English Channel. France has warned it may send in its navy to police the dispute. Fishing rights are another battleground in the long list of issues yet to be resolved. Britain's exit is due to be discussed at an EU heads of state meeting scheduled later this month in Austria. Henry Ridgewell for VOA News, London.